Got a name?
Friend, guys.
You got a name?
Zach and me.
So it's only trouble when it starts playing music, right?
Yeah.
If you start playing now,
Yeah, we're safe. We're safe until the solo, yeah.
We're playing chicken here.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
now we're doing
It's probably a good idea to get over on this side. Welcome to the Lads AM podcast, a show for those late night ramblings you only get when the rest of the world is asleep. This show is available in both podcast and Let's Play form. Check out our social media to find out how to listen the way you want to. Tonight, we are playing Team Fortress 2.
Hey, speaking of Pokemon.
Speaking of Pokemon?
Yeah, we got Pokemon Za.
Pokemon of the Za, dude.
Pokemon Za, dude. That's how I'm calling it.
Dude. I had
I'm only ever going to call it Pokemon Za.
Pokemon Za. I had a professor in college. It was the first time I've ever heard anyone refer to pizza as Za.
Pizza.
Yeah, as like a short term for pizza, Za. You want to get some serious Za. Then I had a friend of mine who kept using it on. He kept using it on Twitter as like a joke. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically like he was in improv, and it was like after an improv show they did. He took a picture with like the whole cast, and he added, I think, Little Caesars on Twitter, and Little Caesars liked it.
Nice.
He went on kind of a trying to get as many like corporate accounts to like his tweets as possible. I think he ended up getting like 3 or 4 by the end of the year.
Dude, we could do better than that.
I think sometimes you just have to like, you have to be real corporate about it.
All right, Matt.
Yeah.
It is only the beginning of March, okay?
It is only the beginning of March.
By the end of this
Literally
year,
the first day.
by the end of this year, what corporation do we want to have retweeted something of ours?
To retweet?
Yep.
That's a lot.
Any.
But like, let's try to think of like a smaller company but it would still be cool. Alright.
I can tell you one thing. Do you mean like or retweet? Because retweet's going to be a lot more difficult.
Alright. I guess we'll go like them.
Yeah, because they can just kind of off rip, just kind of like something randomly, and it doesn't really do much. Retweet is like, here is an endorsement.
Yeah. All right. So then
this peg. Yeah, you're looking for a like.
This went through a process for us to retweet this.
Yeah.
Right,
it really impresses. We want to show this is a statement from our company.
Arizona.
Dude, I would love Arizona.
Get Arizona IC to like our stuff.
Yeah.
We'll call them the official drink of the Lads AM podcast, yeah.
The Lads account, dude?
Wait. Is Arizona the official drink, though?
Yes.
What about G Fuel?
I don't even drink G Fuel.
I thought that's what you drink a bunch of.
I used to, like, for a little bit.
Oh, you don't anymore?
You changed van.
I changed van. No longer a gamer. Why do you think I'm so bad at video games now?
Now?
He showed you.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
I feel really got.
You should.
Because Rob told me I'm bad at video games.
Damn right.
Back to Pokemon Za real quick.
Za.
Dude. That was not on anyone's radar.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I saw a lot of people reacting to it, and everyone's expecting like Johto or the Let's Go game we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no one wanted Pokemon Za.
Guess that's not happening.
But guys,
sorry, man. No, let's go, Whooper.
We're missing the important thing. You can catch Raikou in Pokemon Sleep.
Dude, true. I gotta look into that stuff.
You wake up and you can have a Raikou.
Oh shit! I gotta do my Pokemon.
Or I could get the little coin dude. I can get the little coin guy in the Pokemon Cafe game.
Man,
Oh
I'm
my God,
gonna
guys, Pokemon Cafe.
wait. Man, I'm gonna do my catches now in Pokemon Sleep from last night. I'll
Idente.
let, I'll let I'll let you know what I got. All right.
The one person. Dude, watching that, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be like 10 minutes of just random mobile games that
Pretty much.
they-
Yep.
essentially the equivalent of what I think is the population of Delaware. Probably cares about. So
Yeah.
like 3 people.
Damn. And
But
two of
luckily
them
we
are the
have-
president and first lady.
The president and the first lady. Do they?
Well, Joe Biden's from Delaware, isn't he?
Oh, I thought you were about to tell me that Joe Biden plays Pokemon Sleep.
I
that's
mean,
just
maybe, I
known-
don't judge.
And that's just known information.
No, he was continuing with your Delaware joke.
I did not know that that Dark Brandon was from Delaware. I was not aware of that.
You made a joke about him being from Delaware before.
Did I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
during
I
the
think you
flags
have.
video.
The what?
the
did.
flag, the
Flag.
flag tier list.
Yeah,
I did. I don't think I did.
you did.
I
It was
really
recorded
don't-
and everything.
I did. You know what? Clip it and
It's a-
ship it, dude.
You know I don't know how to do that. How dare you?
I
Can't
don't
believe you'd
think-
embarrass me like that.
How could I have done that if I didn't know he was from Delaware?
I think you just forgot that you knew.
I don't know who the fuck is he. Okay,
Pokemon
Yeah.
Za.
Pokemon's
I have a fun little idea if you guys are down.
sure
Perhaps make some money from us.
make
I'm
some money.
listening. I'm listening.
Last time on the Pokemon Legends game, because technically it's Pokemon Legends Za, but I'm going to call it
Yes.
Pokemon Za.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
when it was announced, we saw the starters right away. They showed a little mismatch of starters of Oshawott, Cyndaquil, and Rowlet.
Yep,
This time they announced Legends.
yep.
They didn't show the starters.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation about that.
Well, how about we do some speculation, some predictions?
How about we?
Alright.
They can bring back our little betting game.
How about we get money
Oh.
involved amongst friends? Because that's always a good idea.
Yeah,
That's really how you secure
Oh
friendships.
boy.
we did it with the birth of his nephew, and now we can do it with Pokemon.
Equally important events
All right.
Yes.
in history.
All right. So you want me to make predictions
Yeah,
on the 3 starters? Okay.
preferably all of us. I have mine if you want me to start, since I
Alright,
brought it
hang
up.
on.
You got some time to think.
Well, here's my question: are we allowed to copy each other's answers?
We cannot copy the full team, but you can
Okay.
copy 1 or 2.
All right. Give me 1 second to think, because I want to come up with my list before you do yours.
Okay.
All right. Wait. I got 1.
I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna soul read it when it gets to my turn.
It was that. Okay.
I feel pretty good about mine. Not 100% certain, but I feel okay about mine.
Uh-oh. Oh, I just thought of something. Okay,
Oh,
Oh,
man.
dude, that's not a good time for you.
I know.
This is tricky because here's the thing: is I feel confident I can say what Pokemon are not gonna be there,
Sure.
Well, if you do that,
but
just keep doing that until you run out, and then the last 3 are there. I mean, easy.
all right, I'm gonna go that one. I'm gonna go with this, and I'm gonna go with. All right, I got my answers. All right, I got my 3.
So my 3,
Yep.
I went with Chimchar, Sprigatito, Mudkip.
All right.
Char, Sprigatito, Mudkip.
I was staying with the Za theme. I was staying with the weed theme. That was the only
Dude.
reason I went with it.
Okay.
We got Weed Cat. Mudkip is just when you're so high, you go nonverbal. And then, I don't know, Chimchar's a goofy guy.
Okay. Fair
Char's a
enough.
goofy guy. Perfect explanation.
That was all I could do for fire.
No self inserting there of your fascination for the fire type monkey Pokemon.
No,
Oh, just because I like them.
I went for the one that I don't know. I thought fit most with weed. I was
Oh,
like, I
okay.
don't know, Chimchar, I guess.
If you did do that, I wouldn't think anything against you. I was like, I want to say Oddish, but yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna count.
Robert, what's yours?
Alright. So my 3 that I came up with, I put down Snivy,
Okay.
Scorbunny, Totodile.
Or Bunny Totodile.
And I have my reasons for I have reasons for specific ones that I would not have chosen. But I mean it's really hard to predict some.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about the ones that I think absolutely will not show up after Matt makes his predictions.
All right, Matthew.
Okay. So I have a part of the logic I'm working with is that chances are the 3 Pokemon are gonna be ones that aren't gonna have megas because
That's
gonna be no
exactly what I went with, Matt. Yeah.
Now, although,
Which rules out all of the Gen 1 and 3 starters.
well, you'd hope. You would really hope that Gen 1
Oh,
starters
you are
ruled
really
out.
hoping that it's not Charmander.
I am so especially since I started seeing on Twitter that a lot of people were like, guys, Charizard Mega Z is coming. It kind of made it like, oh, this isn't just some bit I came up with. A lot of people are thinking that this is a possibility.
Uh,
Well, surely, if they're going that route, it's going to be like a boss or something that you fight, right? Or like an enemy. Like they're not going to give you Chimchar or Charmander.
Charmander. You know what? I think I'm gonna for fire. I'm gonna go Charmander, just
Yeah.
because if it is, at least I win in this scenario. Because I'm gonna lose the ability to ever play Pokemon again. Because I have said that I will quit playing Pokemon games if they add Charizard Z. And I'm gonna stick to it. And you know what though? I have had this idea for a video that I want to make for a long time that just explains every reason I dislike Charizard.
Okay.
This
It
will
might
set
be
it off.
if it does happen, and then I make a video called "I Hate Charizard," that might pick up on the algorithm, so I might be able to capitalize off of my misery.
There you go.
So for that, I'm gonna go Charmander.
Okay.
For grass type, I am going to go Turtwig
Okay.
out of because I want it.
All right.
And for water, I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna be any of the Gen 5 ones. No, Gen 6, I mean. It's not gonna be any of the Gen 6 ones.
Yeah.
Because it's already in that region.
Yeah.
They probably want it to be different.
Yeah.
I don't think they would do Greninja. They wouldn't do Ash. They wouldn't do Mega Greninja because Ash Greninja always exists.
Probably. Although if they did Charmander, I could see them doing Froakie.
Now that Ash is no longer a thing, they're like, damn, Ash Greninja doesn't make sense anymore.
From what I've heard, they've kind of just swept it under the rug. So,
what's you know what? Just I think I want to go with Mudkip.
You're out, even though it's Gen 3?
Even though it's Gen 3. Wait, what does that mean?
Well, you were saying Gen 3 would have a Mega Evolution.
Oh shit, you're right. He does have a Mega, doesn't he?
Yeah, the Gen 1 and Gen 3 ones. Well, he also went Charmander, so.
Well, Charmander is because I only see my relationship with Pokemon getting worse.
True.
and I see them screwing me over in any opportunity they can, specifically me because they dislike me.
Oh, of course. That's actually their whole goal is just piss Matt off.
I'm really stumped on water types then. Squirtle, no. Totodile. I think Mega Fraligator was a popular one that people were asking for, I remember. When Megas first came around. Mudkip is 4. No, 4 because I said Turtwig, so it wouldn't be Piplup. 5 would be Froakie, which I already said probably.
No,
not.
5 is Oshawott.
5 is Oshawott, which they already did. 6 is Froakie.
Right.
What's 7? Sobble?
Poplio.
No, 7 is Poplio.
7 be Poplio.
Then 8 is Sobble.
I think I want Sobble. And I want him to no longer have a sniper, but instead have like a machine gun.
All right.
He just gets a bigger gun. He's like, yeah, I'm not staying on the
quite at all.
I'm not staying on the back lines anymore.
You do not want me on the stealth missions.
Because the megas get like they get like the mega evolutions get their own like Pokedex entries. And I think it'd be a cool one of like Sobble said, fuck this, he's done. I'm done with this. It's time to take things into my own hands. Yeah, that's mine. I'm gonna say Charmander, Turtwig, Sobble.
Yep. I got Chimchar, Sprigatito, Mudkip. Robert's got Scorbunny, Snivy, Totodile.
Yeah.
And as we go on, I'll ask other gamers if they want to hop in on
I'll
this.
assume, I think it's going to be a good assumption that whatever 3 starters they choose, they're going to make new megas for them.
Better. Imagine they just put the mega thing at the end of the video, and they don't do it. They just put it there for no reason.
Well, there's a difference between bringing megas back and creating new ones, though. I'm saying I think they're going to create 3 new ones.
They better make more than 3.
Well, you're right. I'm talking about
We
just
start with the starters.
I'm talking about in terms of the starters, man.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't think that it was any of the Gen 1, 3. So when I said I was going to rule things out, I ruled out all of Gen 1 and 3 because those starters already have megas. I ruled out all of Gen 6 because that's where the game takes place, and they didn't do that with Legends Arceus. I don't see them doing it with this game. And then I ruled out all the Gen 9 starters because that's the most recent generation, and I don't think they would reuse those starters that quickly.
You gotta keep it relevant, though, right?
Well, that's why with the first Legends Arceus, they had one of them be Gen 7, but none of them were Gen 8, even though Gen 8 was at the time. Which is why, for my pick, I put in Scorbunny, which is a Gen 8 starter. Because I think Scorbunny was the most popular of the Gen 8 starters. That being said, I could see it being Sobble as well. So I think Sobble is a pretty solid pick. But basically, I went with what I thought were popular Pokemon that I could see them making a mega form for, and that people would want to see back. That being said, Matt's list of Sobble, was it Sobble?
Charmander, Turtwig.
That is a really, really solid grouping. I would
Don't tell me that. Don't
really hope that Charmander is wrong, but I'm gonna be honest, Matt. I won't make the same vow you do because I have way too much riding on that line. But, like, if they give Charmander a 3rd Mega Form, I am going to be so disappointed.
They just give it to... Oh, because oh, my God. I hate Charizard so much.
I know you do.
It's
I know,
so
buddy.
stupid how much they give it just because... I think if you ask most people...
Yep.
I think what people's favorite Pokemon is. Just because of the sheer amount of people that have only have nostalgia for Gen 1 because they played it and they haven't played a Pokemon game since. that's where you get that's where you get like my favorite Pokemon.
But here's the thing:
is-
those people are not even active Pokemon fans at this point. Like
I know, but here's the thing.
I wouldn't
You
call
don't-
my
you don't-
sister a Pokemon fan. She grew up with Gen 1.
But I think that's why almost all of the marketing is geared towards like the three main starters because
I don't know, Matt, because you know what's even stupider is when I go into a store. This was like a couple of years ago. I went into a bookstore and they had like a Pokemon coloring book, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And I flipped through it, and it's only Gen 1 Pokemon. I'm like, these are not the Pokemon that the kids who are going to be buying this book are gonna fucking know.
I think it's because my whole theory on their marketing strategy was that one, just for simplicity, they heavily market Pikachu, Eevee, and the three starters from Gen 1.
I'm
That's
fine with
what
that
I see.
to a
That's what I
certain extent.
mostly see, and I think a huge part of that was because it explode because I noticed that kind of, especially the three starters, started after Pokemon Go in like 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
That's when they started capitalizing on it.
yeah.
That's when I saw Pokemon like really start, they started heavily doing those three. And that game, obviously a lot of people who I think are in the same demographic or the same group that I'm talking about, who have a lot of nostalgia for Gen 1 because they liked Pokemon, but they haven't continued playing the games. I think that's like one of the primary markets of Pokemon Go. Because you can still play Pokemon without the dedication of playing a whole video game. And I think that's
Yeah.
why it was so popular. And I think from there, that's when they started just so heavily favoring Charizard, because more people are going to go, oh my God, Charizard. I remember him. I had a Charizard. So when they're trying to market things, maybe especially to people who are either trying to get them back into playing the games, or it's like, oh, my kids are playing Pokemon now. Oh, I remember Charizard. I feel they just favor him so heavily because of like pure like just nostalgia, and the fact that he's like most people's favorite Pokemon because it's the one they remember.
But the thing is that sure, if you want to make that argument for something like Pokemon Go, fine. But at the end of the day, you have to assume that their target demographic for a game like Sword and Shield are kids.
I don't think
So
so.
there's no reason for Charmander to have such a prevalent role in that game.
I think there is a case to be made for them being like, how do we get people that played Pokemon as a kid who now have their own money to buy games? How do we get them interested? Let's show them Charizard because they remember Charizard. Also, Pokemon's main I refuse to believe that where Pokemon makes most of their money is the video games. And I think the video games in the show are all about getting people into just like
Why? What
getting
do you
them to
think they
spend money
make the
on
most?
everything.
What do you think they make the most money on?
Probably, I imagine like physical products.
No.
I think so, especially like TCG.
Oh, well, I guess if
And
you're including
merchandise.
TCG into that.
Yeah, I
then-
say I think physical goods is what they make most of their money on.
I
I know it's not like the show.
no,
What are they
it's
making
definitely
on
not the
that?
show. Definitely not the show. I'll give you
I don't
that.
think it's games, because they make those how often do they make their big hitting game? Once a year? I don't think they I don't
Yeah,
think
but
the
millions of people buy them as soon as they come out. Whereas the average merge will only be bought by a handful of people.
I don't know. Especially because how much after Pokemon Go that they've started, you start seeing merchandise and shows in stores now.
Here,
And now
here's,
popping off the stores too. With
Alright,
the Pokemon store
yeah.
online.
here's the
Yeah,
other thing
I
I'll
think
say on
there's-
that, Matt. Okay, so I'm sure you. All right, understatement of the year. You ready? I'm a big Pokemon fan. I know, shocking. I try to think about the amount of money that I've spent on games compared to the amount of money that I've spent on Pokemon merchandise. And I think, so, alright, this is what I'll say, okay? For a long-term fan, I think they spend more on games ultimately than they would merchandise. But for someone who's just getting into Pokemon, then they probably do spend more on the merchandise than the game. Like if little Timmy over here just got his first Pokemon game, he'll spend $60 on it. And then if he wants a bunch of Pokemon stuff, now he's gonna spend more money on the merchandise. Yeah, actually, all right. Wait.
Can we? I can't do it because I'm playing the game right now. But can we look this up? Because
I'll look this up. Because honestly, you're starting. The more I think about it, the more I am starting to agree with you.
Because I think that's the whole point. I think the whole point is they do what they can to get people back into Pokemon. Because
here we go. You ready for this, Matt?
Ooh.
Please.
Ooh.
In terms of revenue, the Pokemon Company makes more money from merchandise than everything else combined.
That's what I'm saying. I think they love the city.
Now, granted, this is just someone on GameFAQs. It's not like confirmed, but
You guys have something here that says what is it based on? Okay, well, I should see what this is based on. Cause I'm seeing by the numbers.
There's a long Reddit post here, but it seems like it's pretty on topic for this. So I'm gonna read this out, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Pokemon is a merchandise company. The revenue it makes from merchandising is 3 to 4 times the ones they make from the games.
Yeah.
The games is an umbrella term, including mainline and Go. Go made $6 billion for the company across 5 years, and is still significantly higher than Sword Shield, Arceus, and the combined revenue of all recent remakes. So there's a business and a shit ton of money to be incentive to focus on the places that make the most money. Most of us aren't avid fans of Pokemon merchandise. The young adults / teenagers and children are. People who play Go and recently Pokemon Unite didn't follow each game, and is only there to waste their time for brackets of a few minutes to an hour a day. They don't understand what makes games games. Because of Japan's need to stick to tradition and having a conservative approach even in a global landscape, they still release newer mons that would incrementally earn them tons of money through Go / merchandising from the base games. But that's all they really need. Sure, they want to ensure sales do well for new games, which is why they always introduce new gimmicks and showcase adorable mons early, because marketing is a monstrous vehicle that sells to the casual. So this was a year ago posted. I realized if they did retire Ash, and if they did try another approach to their media, they've amped up collaborations with Western counterparts like Ed Sheeran recently. They could release Pokemon through movies, like how Disney earns from introducing marketable merchandise to their movies. There might not even be an incentive to stick to new designs that sell only through games. A lot of people will likely never finish the game or don't really care about missing mechanics. They see something new, something cute and flashy, and their money is in. Go is too much of a monster. XY bringing back iconic Pokemon also pushed the series back into people's mind. And all this, along with how good their marketing is, created this behemoth that flies above Zelda, Mario, and Capcom in terms of capital, that there's no need for them to work on the games because the other 3 relies on a good game to profit. The Pokemon Company doesn't. Matt, did you write this post? Like, what the fuck?
But that's how it always is. Like they said, Disney's the exact same fucking way. They make so much money on little dolls of Elsa make more than the movie she's from. It's always been that way.
So I have numbers here.
Let me finish the Reddit post and then we'll hear the numbers.
I want to highlight one thing from that Reddit post, though.
Yeah, I'm not done, but go on, yeah.
What did they say about X and Y? What did it do good? Because it brought back old things, right?
Brought back iconic Pokemon.
What? Oh, you mean the Gen 1 starters? They handed to you on
Yeah.
a silver platter, and which
Yeah.
one? Which one did they just decide randomly was gonna get 2 forms?
Yeah.
Go Charizard.
All right, so continuing this post. It literally doesn't matter anymore how bad the game is, because new cute designs or cool mons will still sell like hotcakes. I'm not being cynical and saying there's nothing we as gamers can do, but I'm just saying that this is pretty much the reality. And it's not like they are soulless monsters who only care about cash. I've seen parents who grew up with series and who grew out of the series having so much fun with their children. The kids love it, because it is designed now for kids. You can't exactly call it soulless if that's the case. The game wants to focus on having the kids love it, even at the extent of the older fans, because our wallet simply isn't comparable to them, the casuals and the children anymore. They are not going to care about shadows rendering. At most, the lag will be a minor inconvenience to them. They don't play God of War or Elden Ring to know any better. I'm just breaking things down to the people who are trying to make sense of why the biggest brand who started from games don't care about the games anymore. Of course, it is about money, but it is also how we are no longer their target market, and they knew exactly how we will react. They know what makes a good game to gamers, but they simply don't see the profit in caring. Yeah, no, I will say, I think that combines best of your view on this, Matt, and the best of my view on this.
Oh, let's see how he does this one.
Well, what I was
Yeah.
going to say is the thing that stuck out to me, and this is something that I feel like I've always had at my argument, is that people our age are not their target audience. And I think that there are certain complaints that people make that boil down to, well, you're not their target audience. Obviously, there are plenty of complaints that are valid, but like one of the complaints that I remember people talking about was how they felt Pokemon games were getting easier and easier. And it's like, well, yeah, because their target audience essentially keeps getting younger and younger. They're starting to, they're
Well,
trying
one's
to
like
get
stays the
kids.
same age. We're just
Well,
getting older.
Well, I don't think so. I think when Red and Blue first came out, their target audience was around 12 to 13 years old. Now I think their target audience, especially with in terms of like merchandising and the show, is like starting as early as 7.
I
think
think
it was-
saying that like the target audience, I think the target audience argument does work for something like that, where it's like games.
It's not a catch. It's not a catch-all. Of course.
I just don't like the we're not that. Oh, the target audience isn't people that care about care about quality in their video games, right? Like, yeah, their target audience is kids who's not going to notice when there are clear graphical errors or lighting systems that don't work properly or just really poor models for no reason. Like, yeah, kids aren't going to care about that, but just because kids are their target demographic, I don't think that's an excuse to not for them to not care about those things.
You're
as
right.
well.
And for a complaint like that, I would not use target audience as an excuse. I agree.
That's what I hate when people do.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No,
Yeah,
I'm always very careful. When I use target audience, it is specifically about something where a child would enjoy it and an adult might not.
For the numbers, don't know where exactly the fan wiki is getting this from, but it matches at least the vague number you're reading out before.
Yeah.
So as of 2023, the gross revenue for the video games was $30 billion.
Was that for the whole year?
I believe so. Following table summarizes the sales revenue of Pokemon franchise, including all video games, media, and merchandise as of 2023.
Okay, so that's everything. That's merchandise, that's games, that's everything.
No, that was what I just read to you, 30 billion was video games.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. 30 billion just from the games?
The merchandise, which I'm going under the licensed merchandise, Pokemon trading game, and manga magazine,
Okay.
is around 125 billion.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
All right, first of all, both of those numbers are way higher than I ever would have thought. That doesn't even make sense to me. Because wait a minute. So you're say that number again. How much for the video games? 30 billion?
30 billion, yeah.
Wait, I'm pulling out a calculator real quick. Hang on. Because here's the thing. I need to make sure I include enough. I need to make sure I include the right zeros. 30 billion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So if the average Switch game is what? $40?
Wait.
Sure.
40?
Actually, no, they go higher than that.
Do they go 60?
Yeah, they
What
go
do
60.
they go for? 60? Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if a Switch game goes for $60, in 1 year they sold 500 million copies of the video games?
I mean,
Well,
you can
it
look
says main series, spin-offs, arcade games, free-to-play games.
All right, hang on.
It says
yeah.
here for
This
the
is
main
a- this is a
series, it
20
says 300 million.
This is 20. Wait,
A little over
it
that.
says 300 million?
327,230,000 for the main series.
If it's 327 million, then how are they getting to a 30 billion number? You would have
Because
to
the
be
30
spending-
billion includes spin-off games, arcade games, and free-to-play games.
Oh, the 327 is just for main series?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Microtransactions, dude. Why do you think they've been pumping out
Yeah.
Pokemon
No,
Cafe?
It's absolutely disgusting how it
Pokemon
says
Unite?
it says free to play, and the amount of money they made was 9 billion off of free to play games.
Guys,
Wait.
Pokemon Go.
I'm sorry,
Pokemon
wait.
Cafe.
I need to make sure that because I have a slight ear infection. Was that 9 billion on free to play?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the free-to-play model in all video games has been crazy the past 10 years. What are you
They made
talking
more
about?
money off of free to play games than any of the spin-offs.
Hang on,
They
wait,
made triple
wait.
the amount up from free to play than the spin-off games.
Hang on, I need to look something up real quick.
Yeah. You know, you love a good
I need that Blastoise skin.
All right, hang on. 9 billion.
what
you
quirky
said, right?
what quirky skin are they gonna add
All
to
right,
Pokemon
wait,
League of
wait.
Legends?
All right.
Is what I was thinking.
So
during that
I
fucking
know-
video.
I know there are more free to play games than just Pokemon Go, but
Mhm.
Pokemon Go is almost certainly still the biggest one, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, according to this, the average number of active Pokemon Go players as of on like November 2023 was around 83 million, okay?
Uh-huh.
So if we use that approximation, that means the average Pokemon Go player spend $108.
Honestly, yeah, I can see that.
But here's where it gets crazy: is you gotta figure that there's a huge, sizable chunk that have spent no money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means that there's also an equally high number of people who are spending hundreds of dollars on this.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands probably.
Dude,
Why?
you ever hear Stanley talk about gotcha games?
I don't like that. I don't like the gotcha games. I don't understand how you spend that much money on it. The only money I have ever spent on a free-to-play game is my mom, and I think I've said this before on the podcast. My mom, when Pokemon Go first came out, she was a big fan of it. She used it a lot. And so, as small little gifts to her, whenever her Pokemon storage filled up, I would increase it for her. But in total, I spent less than $20 doing that. So, that blows my fucking mind.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I
I'm
will
definitely
say-
someone
I will say, playing Pokemon Sleep, I can see why people do the microtransactions.
I mean, I've always been. I mean, yeah, there are games that are. There are games that are free that I like to spend money on. Notice how my hat has fancy colors on it. But like,
But that's a cosmetic that you get to use throughout the rest of the time you play the game.
yeah,
A lot of the things that you get in Pokemon Go or Pokemon Sleep are just consumable items.
yeah, but I think it's more about the experience. Genuinely.
Yeah.
I think it's genuinely more about, because I always think of it as like, if I do pay for something like that, I'm thinking about, like, I'm not necessarily thinking I'm spending $20 on virtual in-game currency. I say, if I get this, I will have roughly a few hours of enjoyment. Do I think
Yeah.
those few hours of enjoyment are worth $20? And I consider, what did I do to get that $20? Well, I worked about an hour or so, maybe a little bit more than an hour. Like, I say, do I think that's a fair trade in my head?
Yeah.
And if that experience versus what I did to get that money is a fair experience, I don't see anything. I don't think about how it's a consumable currency. I think more about reality. What am I going to get from it?
But what I'm getting at with the consumable currency, Matt, is exactly like you said. I also try to think about things whenever I buy it in terms of how much enjoyment am I going to get this and how long will that enjoyment last. But the kind of things that you would spend money on in, like, Pokemon Sleep, for example. Let me load up the app really quickly so I can give like a concrete example here. But it's things that would get you like the at most like 20 seconds of enjoyment, I think.
Welcome to the hey TikTok. The
Instant
TikTok
gratification.
generation. TikTok
But
generation.
I'm spending $3 on instant gratification. That's absurd. If I want instant gratification, I open up YouTube Shorts and mindlessly scroll for hours.
Well, you don't like Pokemon Sleep enough. Some people really like Pokemon Sleep, and they were like, "Dude,
I mean,
$3, why not?"
I'm on day 210, my dude.
$3, nothing. That's
I have
not.
$3.
I have $3 right now, and what can I get with that $3? I'm not going to save it.
Oh, an
So
orange berry or something or whatever.
Either I spend that $3 on a bag of chips that I'm gonna probably enjoy for a minute, or I can get some things for the Pokemon game that I play every single day. Also, because it's also like, I don't know, how much is if I wanted to buy a GameCube right now, how much is that?
A GameCube with the cables you need and a controller.
Yeah, to be able to play a GameCube.
Probably about $100.
Okay. This hat that I'm wearing right now,
Yep.
roughly around that.
Really?
Yeah.
I
think it's roughly worth like 120, right?
Okay.
I have 5,000 hours in this game.
Yep.
I have never once had the urge to buy and play an actual physical GameCube.
Okay.
Same amount of money.
Okay.
Same amount of money, and I'm getting infinitely. And so far, I have about 5,000 more hours of enjoyment in this game than I do on a GameCube, because I've never had a GameCube. I have no reason for it.
I mean,
like, it's all different things. So I've always just looked at spending money. I guess I don't think about what I'm spending money on, because
the weird thing for me, Matt, especially for a case like what you're doing, is that suppose you don't buy the hat, right?
Yeah.
Surely you would still have 5,000 hours of enjoyment in this game.
Perhaps.
Like, I find it hard to believe that whether you have the hat or you don't have the hat, that it would increase the amount of time you played the game.
Down to the person. What if I really wanted the hat, but I couldn't buy it? But then I see a bunch of other people with fancy hats, and every time I see other people with fancy hats, I get sad because I can't buy my own. and maybe I close the game because I don't want to feel sad about things I don't have anymore. I'm saying basically the way I look at it is that when it comes to spending money, don't think about. I think about, is this something I'm going to? Is it going to make me? I don't want to say happy. Is it going to give me dopamine?
Yeah.
No, is it genuinely going to have me? Because really, what's going to make you happy when you're talking about money?
Dude, it's gonna make me happy.
Will it give me a dopamine hit?
Here.
Will it give me a dopamine hit? And
will I pay off all my bills, my debt?
I mean, if you obviously the money buying happiness argument goes out the window when you talk about a life-changing amount of money.
Yeah.
But in terms of like what I would rather do, like, I don't know. I need a dopamine break from reality, and this is how I choose to spend it. I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about other things. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to spend $1,000 on a Pokemon card. And it's arguably as useless as this hat.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, man.
No, I got that.
So when people will be like, "Oh yeah, I've spent $10,000 buying JPEGs in my favorite gacha game." Yeah, in my head, I think that's ridiculous, but I'm not gonna say, "Why would you ever do that? That's insane." I've got my own vices in a similar vein.
I mean, everyone does, yeah. I think there's a big difference between saying that's not something I would do and being like, why would you do that? I think I used to have that mindset where I always was very careful with money. And I say that as though I'm not careful with money now. But like, I would always try to be very kind of frugal. And nowadays I'm a lot more relaxed with it, especially now that I have a slightly better paying job, I'll say. But like, I forget if we had talked about it on the podcast or not. But a couple months ago, I bought probably the first I say expensive, like in quotes, not too expensive, but thing that some people would consider a complete waste of money. Which is, I got a copy of Pokemon Stadium 2 for the N64, but it is actually a demo card. It was meant for, not for retail sale, it was only meant to be at stores, and it was basically meant to test the game to like play tests for the customers. And what makes this copy really special is each copy has a sticker on the back that's supposed to be filled out by the store. This one, the sticker is still there, but the sticker was never filled out. And I ended up spending $200 on this. I remember I sat in that store a while. I was like, do I really want to spend $200 on this? And eventually I was like, you know what? If I've wrestled with the idea for half an hour, I think that's enough that I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where it depends on where you're at with your life. But still, it is wild to say $9 billion. Alright, guys, games. Fuck the podcast. Can we just make a free-to-play app and make some money?
Dude, sure. We could... Dude, I think about it sometimes. Could very easily just learn the basics of coding, make a really shitty mobile game.
Dude, Matt, better yet, I know the coding.
Get really
lucky. You know a little bit about like art stuff.
Thanks.
Well, you're doing more with Photoshop, I think, than with just straight up like art. And then, I'm sure there's a role we can find for you, Dustin.
I can do something. I can get you guys coffee.
Dustin, I feel it. Dustin, I'm sure you must have some marketable skill.
Dustin, no, I got it. I got Dustin. You ready? Dustin will be the most amazing marketing genius ever. He will market the game so well.
Mhm.
And boom, there you go. How to market.
Was he gonna stuff advertisements in people's mailboxes?
Yes. Also,
yeah.
I'm gonna be the guy in the YouTube ads who's pretending to play the game for the first time. I can't believe this. And also, I forget how to speak English apparently all the time.
Who's struggling with the most basic thing
Oh, I cannot believe that this game is a real game.
to purpose? Like, oh, maybe I think I should do this, which is clearly the wrong move, but it's just to rage bait people.
Yeah. And then they buy the. That's what I'll be the guy in those videos. There. That's my marketing strategy.
There you go.
Dude, 90% of gamers can't figure this out.
I'm
I can't
smarter
believe
than
people say this is a fake game, and I'm playing it right now.
I think about the episode where we did the people the game that made the actual games every time I see that now.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Those games are actually fun when they're real.
Crazy how that works, isn't it?
Boy, they just put effort into doing that rather than just trying to sell whatever they normally sell.
Dude, they might have made $9 billion.
Yeah. And people would have positive opinions of them.
Oh boy.
Pal World Go.
Yeah.
Dude, alright, so quick question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is Pal World already dead?
Possibly.
Because
Not-
at
well,
least
it's a
in terms of our friends group, I feel like y'all haven't touched it in a while.
Well, that's because multiplayer's still broken, right? Isn't that the
It's a
biggest
little-
reason?
It's pretty bug. I haven't played it. I barely played it, even when everyone else was. I hopped on a couple times just to try it out. There was actually a thing from a while ago because there was like some people were like reporting on like some statistic that was like Pal World's player base, like Pal World loses like 2/3 of its player base, and then the devs responded to it, and they're basically like, "Yeah, that's totally fun. Like, thanks for trying our game. I hope you all had fun." Like the
Yeah.
most wholesome and genuinely like, yeah. Also, I mean, it's alpha,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, that as
I-
well.
It's also
about to ask.
alpha. So my theory is that it's going to build a core. You get a whole bunch of people to try your game.
Yeah.
Huge marketing success, more than really any game we've seen.
In a while,
Absolutely
yeah.
insane. From that, even if it's not a lot, the percentage of people that are going to keep playing the game and be really into it is going to be just is going to be larger than they ever could have expected. You're going to build a strong core fan base, and then when the game launches for real, everyone's going to come back and try it again because they remembered playing it. Even though a large number of the player base like has fallen off since the I don't know, like the peak of it. It's not like people stopped playing because they were like, "Oh, I don't like this game anymore." They probably just got a little bored of it.
Yeah. It's kind of a thing where when you talk about things falling off, you kind of have to think like, did it fall off or is it just normalized now?
It's like Battleborn is a game that fell off.
Right.
Rob, can you tell me what Battleborn is?
Not a fucking clue.
Oh, there's a good reason for that. So Battleborn was like a character-based. Tell me if this sounds familiar to you.
Okay.
It's like an FPS game, and there's like a
Okay.
bunch of different characters, and all the characters have different abilities, and it's kind of like a team-based kind of thing, and they all have like abilities and like ultimate abilities and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar to you at all?
Yeah. Call of Duty.
Oh.
No, Overwatch. Obviously, you're talking Overwatch.
Yeah.
I just
You know
want to
what
fuck
game
with. I just
came out
want
the
to fuck
same-
with you. I just
Yeah,
want to
that's
throw
the-
you off, and it
You know
worked.
what game came out the same day as Battleborn?
That's why I remember it now. Okay, because it came out the same day.
That's unfortunate.
It came out the exact same day as Overwatch.
You know what? I do remember it now
And one
because
of
you
them
talked
won.
to me about this before. I
Like
think you said, "What if
that-
Battleborn won?"
that game fell off because no one played it, and then it just progressively got worse and worse. I don't know if you can still play it. I don't know if there's still servers up for it. But
It's an older game at this point.
I mean, 2016.
Is that when Overwatch 1 came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Overwatch.
It was the best
1
time
was
to
a
play the
little
fucking
later
game.
than
Best time of my life.
It was great.
I peaked there. Summer was great. You woke up, you played Overwatch, you went to sleep.
Honestly,
That's all I did.
Honestly, it was. Oh god.
I woke up, booted up Overwatch, stayed in my console for like 12 hours probably. Went to bed.
And life was good.
Yeah,
And then
it's
they
amazing.
and then they shot that damn gorilla.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So Battleborn is what I would say is a game that fell off.
Yeah,
bro, it fell off of a 6-inch ledge. Like, Pal World still has like a fondness in people's minds, and it still has a long ahead of it. Even also because I'm pretty sure Pokemon says they're gonna launch, like you're gonna do some investigation. I don't think they have anything really to stand on, especially because of how big it got. I don't think they have any claim.
Pokemon doesn't have any legs to stand on with anything.
Yeah, people kind of think
I
that
I don't think they really want to go for any legal thing either. There.
No. Way to make your Way to make your fans hate you even more by you trying to get rid of this thing that they liked. Yeah, a lot of people have the idea that like since Pokemon made Pansage and Grookey, that Pokemon owns the idea of a grass monkey, which is
no,
weren't there like
not
little
works.
3D models that they ripped and just made art over that?
not anything that's been like. Although that was a lot of Twitter talk.
Oh,
I don't think that ever got, because there was
a lot
also
of
claims.
Rumor.
A lot of claims that they used AI art because the company had an AI art game at some point.
And the guy like really likes AI art.
But like,
I know the AI stuff was all just like speculation because like, man, we have a guy who really likes AI and spent a lot of time on Twitter making AI fake Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then he made Pal World.
But nothing to actually link.
But nothing to prove it, yeah.
To it, yeah.
I don't know. I thought I saw someone was like, here's a literal 3D model from a Pokemon game, and here's a literal 3D model from Pal World. It's like 1-to-1, but I don't know anything about video games, so I can't really speak on that.
Me neither. I just know that I saw it on Twitter and then it went away. And typically, if it has some kind of substance to it, it doesn't go away too much that quickly.
Fair.
But I don't know. Do
you guys remember the game Rooster Teeth made?
They made a game?
The Vicious Summer, I think it was called. Or Vicious something.
Well,
let me look up the name real quick. I can't remember if Vicious Summer was the game or the event.
Based on one of their shows, but
hold on.
I vaguely remember it.
Vicious Circle.
But like I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Oh yeah, because it was awful. Because it was like,
was it?
It was some like they just combined like 3 different games that because Achievement Hunter was like head creative on it. Or something like that. They were like, because they're like, oh, we play a lot of video games. We know video games, so we're just gonna tell the video game company team. I mean, what game we want them to make, and then they'll make it. It'll be great. And it's like some awful hybrid like Dead by Daylight Overwatch combination.
Oh god.
Because they liked Dead by Daylight and Overwatch at the time. There was a third game too, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was.
Yeah, I also like vanilla milkshakes, sushi, and hot sauce.
Make it work.
I like all 3 of those things. So surely, if I put them all together, it's gonna taste great.
Because it was like a first person.
I understand the metaphor you were going for, but honestly, sushi with hot sauce sounds decent.
Yeah, that probably does work more than you're applying, but I get the point.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a third thing.
Yeah,
fucking Frosted Flakes.
Because they had like these zany characters, like, wacky characters that had their own powers, like Overwatch, of a team of 5, but you were going against one big bad monster, like you would in Dead by Daylight. And there was the rules were so confusing. Nobody ever understood it. Where it's like you had to team up as 5 to beat the one big monster that was played by somebody else. But then once you killed him, you became the monster, and then it was a free for all or something.
Yeah, people made this game in the the Overwatch game mode maker, and it was probably 3 times better.
Definitely, yes.
This is Reinhardt and like 11 tiny torblets or whatever that game was.
Right. And some people, because when I was like a test or whatever, and the one thing playtester came out, when not playtester, but like it came out as like a beta, and people were like, man, if they make this free to play, they might have a chance of doing well. Maybe they didn't. Full $60. It peaked at like 14 players.
Really?
in a game where you have 6 players in a game. The peak was 14.
That bad? Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that sucks because those 2 people are just waiting for a game to end.
Exactly. Those 2 people are like, what the hell, man?
Damn. There must be a lot of people playing this game because I can't find a lobby.
And I'm pretty sure that was a game that killed their video games department and had the big mass layoffs that one time. Oh well.
Good, but good thing their movie department's doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, the documentary department's doing wonderful.
Dude, PR, and luckily there's nothing that's gonna. PR is doing great.
Yeah, nothing's bad's gonna happen there. Multiple times.
As someone who used to be a huge fan of them, I'm really glad I stepped away when I did.
Guys, Funhouse is popping off. Achievement Hunter's going strong. What could end this? Let's spend Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm glad I stopped when I did. I stopped, I was like, yeah, this horrible thing came out. I think this is a good place to stop. I was already kind of getting tired of having to keep up with videos.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped before
and then
most of the big drama
and
things
then
happened. But then they did. I'm like, ooh.
I had a foot out the door for a while, but then once all the shit with Ryan came out, that kind of was the nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah, I kept watching after that.
Basically, as soon as that came out, I was like, well, that just ruined all their previous content for me.
Yeah, I can't.
Because like any video I watch, if he's in it, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, there were a couple things. Even though I stopped watching it, there were a couple things I'd like to go back and rewatch.
Oh, I used to rewatch their videos all the time.
Dude, like GTA 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd watch their GTA stuff, their Minecraft stuff, just random videos.
Every now and again, I'd like. There's like one like series of videos. I think there's like 3 of them. It's like right after Ray leaves, and they're building the new house that would eventually go to Jeremy, I think.
Oh yeah.
And they're just building a house and like basically doing like a podcast for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
It's really good. I used to really like that, but
wait, you like the idea of playing a video game and making a podcast out of it? Crazy.
Well, just podcasting while mindlessly playing a video game in the background. I mean, that doesn't sound like it. I don't know what you're insinuating here, Rob.
Well, I'm not insinuating anything. I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you'd feel the need to specify that.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just wanted to make sure Dustin heard.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But it's a good point. I never thought about that.
Oh, did you really not think about that? That's
even
amazing.
as I was saying it, I didn't think about it.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But yeah, I really dug it. I guess I really liked it. But and I think it might have dude, it might have even like one of my jokes that like was really funny, or like bits that was really funny in it. that I remember all the time, and it involves and Ryan's part of it.
Oh, God.
It was they were building like a heated floor. Gavin was like, "Oh, what if we had like a heated floor?" Blah. You know how he does.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they were building a heated floor. They used like netherrack and fire and whatever. And then Ryan is like, "Where's the oxygen gonna go?" And then Michael just deadpan says, "It's a fucking video game." I remember thinking that was one of the funniest things I had ever watched in Achievement Hunter. I remember it vividly to this day, and I can't even. And I feel gross watching it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Goddamn Minecraft YouTubers can't fucking stop being weird.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about going back and watching old Achievement Hunter stuff with how much more I've been thinking about how much I hate the internet now.
I think there's nothing
it's frustrating because if that shit didn't come out about Ryan, then I would probably be fine watching it. But
I think there's like
even with the horrible things that came out with the rest.
Yeah, I think it's all the way. I've always considered it being really down to the individual.
Yeah,
I think morally, really only if I think morally, it's like you don't support them, right?
Some of them are awesome.
Morally, I mean more kind of like just watching old achievement Hunter content in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't, but like watching GTA 4 Cops and Crooks #6. If it brings you joy and you can kind of just be like, I'm gonna focus on 5 out of the 6 people.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, though, is like I don't get joy out of it anymore.
That's like I said, down to the individual. If it makes you feel gross, if it makes you feel gross, then don't do it. But and maybe you don't tell people, hey, old GTA 4 is peak Achievement Hunter, man. Maybe you don't promote it, but if you're just doing it on your own time, like I think that's fine.
Need a couple of qualifiers if you're going to talk about it that way.
Yeah.
Let me get a few things out of the way before I say this.
Yeah, I've always considered it because, like, I know, like, especially like, I've always considered it with like music and stuff, right? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like, I think there's a difference between like my favorite, one of my favorite, if let's say my favorite band. Let's say the drummer turns out to be a huge piece of shit.
Yeah.
Don Weezer, no.
Weezer. Yeah, Weezer. I think, look, okay, let's say the drummer for Weezer turns out to be a huge piece of shit.
Weezer as a drummer?
Exactly. I think I could still listen to Buddy Holly.
Sure.
Let's say Rivers Cuomo, lead singer of Weezer. Let's say he turns out to be a huge piece of shit.
Also John Weezer.
Maybe I can't listen to Buddy Holly anymore. Right?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
If it's if it's like the drummer, or like I keep saying drummer. Let's say it's like just one part of like a 7-person band versus a solo independent artist. Like I feel like there's kind of a difference there.
Yeah.
In terms of does this person make music about, like, is their music really like personal to them? Is it hard to separate from them from that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Also, some people have a lot of like strong connections to music, and it really helps them, like emotionally or mentally or whatever. I mean, I'm not going to tell them, and let's say, unfortunately, there's something shitty about the person that sang the song that came out. Yeah. I'm not going to tell them not to listen to it because I don't know what they get out of it. Yeah.
I think the thing, I know you're saying that it's up to the individual, and I definitely agree with that. I think the issue it is for me specifically is that, especially people of our age, obviously what I'm about to say applies to you too as well, of course. But like, we grew up with Achievement Hunter. Like, I remember when I first saw any of their content, I was probably like, I don't know, 10, maybe 11.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, they were role models. And so I kind of looked up to them to a certain extent. Obviously, to a certain extent. So it gets really disappointing when you hear someone that you genuinely did respect end up not being the person you thought it was. So
Yeah.
So yeah.
For me, I guess with specifically with Achievement Hunter, I think I'd be fine watching Let's Plays. I just know for a fact I couldn't do any sort of live action thing Ryan was in.
Oh yeah,
Like
what was
seeing
that
his face,
thing?
I couldn't do that.
Oh, I think a good example would be what's that mystery thing they did?
I was about to say 10 Little Roosters.
Yeah.
Even though I would love to, because 10 Little Roosters was awesome, I know I wouldn't be able to. Since Ryan is in all of them is like a head thing and all.
Hey, spoilers!
Spoiler alert!
10 Little Rooster.
Spoiler for like an 8-year-old.
Oh, way more than 8-year-old. That Little Rooster's like
I don't
11
know.
years old.
No, it was like 4 years ago. Shut up! Don't correct
me on that. It was like 2016, wasn't it?
No, it was before it was while we were in high school.
It was like 2 years ago. Do not correct me on that.
Oh, I'm forgetting we were in high school. No, because I remember talking with you about it on the bus. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's like
God.
I remember because they did
I'm getting my years mixed up.
Contest with it. And I was annoyed because I got 95% of the predictions right. The only one that I got wrong was like the very first one.
Oh yeah,
the very first one, and then the overall killer and survivor.
Yeah,
I think that I also got wrong, but it was frustrating because, especially with that first one, the clues, I forget exactly what it was, but like, even when I read back the logic that you were supposed to use to figure it out, I was like, that's a leap.
Yeah, the first one was like meant to be the most confusing one, I remember. Like they literally made like the most Vegas take it the hardest.
Well, it makes sense. You have the most options of who could die, the most options of how they could die. Yeah, it was Vegas shut down. Yeah. What are we doing our murder mystery, Matt?
Keep talking, and we're gonna have a murder mystery.
It won't be much of a mystery if Robert's the dead one. I'll have to say. It will be kind of a mystery. Who knows?
People are gonna look at it and be like, "You want me to pick between Matt and Dustin? It could be either of them."
Are we sure it wasn't both?
Dude, you want the real murder mystery? Can we talk about how right before we started this podcast, I killed Matt in Lethal Company?
Dude, I don't know what we've done to Lethal Company.
We have so many mods.
We have done so many mods, and simply playing the game with like the fucking 10 to 12 Pearson lobbies we've been doing. It's insane.
So it's really funny. So I am not a big fan of modding games. I'm really not. All right. Before Lethal Company, the only game that I think I've ever really modded in any capacity is Minecraft.
Yeah. Minecraft kind of also lends itself to it.
Right, really. Minecraft lends itself very well. So when we first talked about Lethal Company mods, I remember, I think the first time I said, all right, we'll get the mod that lets us have more than 4 players, but that's it. We're not getting any other mods.
40 mods later.
A few months later, Rob's like, hey guys, we should add this mod that makes it so when you pull the apparatus, it causes a massive explosion. And you have 2 minutes to get out, and it spawns like 5 monsters. Oh boy, how we have grown. The character development is amazing.
Well, the thing is that it was a slow burn. If you guys, if someone came to me at the beginning of Lethal Company and said, Rob, we found 40 mods that we want to download. Will you download these 40 mods? I would have been like, no. But it's a slow burn. You guys are like, let's do one mod. Okay, sure. This sounds like it could be fun. Lethal Company, especially because when we started modding the game, it was at just the right time where we still really wanted to play the game, but I think we all could tell that it was starting to get a little stale.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, if we never
And
modded it, we
We would, yeah,
we
would
would have
not be.
stopped
We
months
would
ago.
not be
We would have
playing.
stopped months
we've been playing Power World right now.
Well, I wouldn't, but
You win.
But yeah, I mean, we've been playing it almost nonstop now for like 5 months.
Yeah. We've been
Which
playing
is
It's like
for
more
just
than I
thinking
can
of
say.
Minecraft, how
I was
Minecraft
gonna say
lends
it's
itself
more
to
than I can
mods.
say for
really.
most games.
Yeah.
But the thing is that with Minecraft, you want to stick with your world. So, like, you can't transition mods in Minecraft easily.
Yeah.
Whereas Lethal Company, I mean, like Matt said, we can just add a mod every 2 weeks or so.
Also,
That's
just
what I'm
want to
saying, it's
point out, it also is just because I think Lethal Company is just like most of it is because we're friends and we're hanging out. That's
Yeah.
most of the reason we enjoy Lethal Company.
Lethal Company is honestly such a passive game.
Yeah.
Like, it's only occasionally where you have moments where you really need to kind of focus.
That's when we get to, like, I don't know, 1,500 plus quota.
Right. Once we get to a high quota, it's like, all right, guys, let's not fuck
That's
this
when we're like,
up.
okay, let's strap in here for a second. We gotta
Yeah.
focus. Even then, we don't really.
Yeah.
Dude, even Dustin, it's funny you say even then we don't, because in my mind I was thinking about tonight. There was one point, I don't know if you're gonna laugh about if you're thinking about what I'm thinking of, but there was
Maybe.
one point we had a quota of like 1,900. It was stupid high.
Yeah.
First day came and went. We got a little bit of money, nothing else. Second day, we go into Fire Escape, and there is a jester right there.
Yeah.
Now, if you were really trying, what you probably could have done is run past the jester, grab a couple of quick things you see, run out. Instead, there were about 9 of us raving next to this jester as it's playing Freebird.
Well, I was playing.
And we're
Game of
playing chicken not to leave.
I don't know
And
about you
then-
guys, but I decided that I was never leaving.
Oh, really?
At all.
That why you done?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm staying as long
So,
as
Matt, so did you see us re-enter then? Only to
Oh, yeah.
find out the jester was still active.
Yeah, I was watching the whole thing, bro.
Oh my goodness.
We never left that fire exit that entire game. It got to the point where I'm outside the door with Robert. I'm like, dude, it's 2:30 right now. We can't just stay at the fire exit. We either need to go explore the dungeon, just get back to the ship and call it a day. We can't just be standing here the whole time.
For people who don't know the game, I will say, to put it into real-time context, I think at that point, Dustin and I were just sitting at the fire exit for probably like 4 minutes, maybe 5.
Yes.
It was a stupid long time to just
Technically
sit
not
there
sitting, but it was just in and out,
essentially
in and out,
doing
in and out.
nothing.
Yeah.
Because there was no good option of what to do. And so I was like, fuck it. No, it's so much fun. That's why, like, I remember for the first few months, one of the things that I harped on was one of us stays at ship and helps people out.
Yeah.
And especially with the number of people we now have playing, that would just not be realistic.
No.
And
There's a reason we don't use walkies.
Oh yeah, no. Once we got to 7, I think everyone, without saying a word, was just like, yeah, walkies aren't gonna work anymore. And we started using the transmit tool instead, which is honestly a really good change to be making in general, just because then you can also communicate with inverse people.
Yeah.
The only thing that does get annoying is when people are like Bracken. And I'm like, okay, Bracken around me, Bracken outside, Bracken around Zach, Bracken around Matt.
Well, to be
Can
fair,
you give a little
bracket
more
around ship
information?
should not be an option, but it is because of the way we play the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I look at Transparent, I always assume they're always talking about like what's outside. Because that's really the only time we ever use it. We was just telling people inside what's going on outside.
I don't, because they can see the radar. They can see like the red dots around us.
They
Yeah,
can, but I'm
So
just-
they might see, oh, there's a Bracken sneaking up on Rob and he's not aware. Let's try to alert him. Turn around, dumbass.
yeah, but I just feel like it's just way more often we use it. The way
Alright.
whereas like
All right.
Most of the time.
All right. Really quick question. All right.
Mhm.
Single favorite mod in the game.
Oh wait.
I
Okay.
can start because I have mine.
I just want to be like, obviously, like there's like I think if you actually think about it, like the best mod we have is like More Company, right?
right.
I think that's. I think
If you're thinking like what mod could we not live without, obviously More Company is
Yes,
not a mod we
yes,
could live
yes.
without.
yes, obviously. I think
Yeah.
I think that's taken out of the equation.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think that's taken out of the equation because you're right. Obviously, More Company is such an integral one. For people who don't know, More Company allows you to play with more than 4 players, which is important because we, I think, are now up to 13 people we play with.
I
Although
think
we
if we
not
had
had
haven't
all
had-
13 at
we
once.
haven't had everyone all at once, but I
We've
think
had
we could
12.
I think we could push 15. We could get I think when I'd have to look at the roll that I made for the Discord.
Yeah.
But I think we could have a 14, 15 person lobby if everyone was on all at once.
One thing I've also been thinking about doing, and if I do decide to do this, I'll make an announcement in our Discord too. But thinking about going to my own personal Discord and just being like, I want to have the biggest Lethal Company group we can possibly have.
That we can put together.
And I literally schedule a date and time. I tell people, show up at this time. I want to have a lobby of at least 20 people. Because I know I have friends. I haven't played Lethal Company with them. The only people I've played Lethal Company with is you all. But I know they haven't.
Yeah.
I know that sound is very important to Lethal Company. If we do end up doing that, I am muting my game.
No,
Honestly.
I am muting everyone. I'm muting every part of the game. I don't
Why?
care. I'll play the game because I want to rip my head off when we have 12 people, with all the people talking, with all the whoopee cushions, with all the horns, with all the guitars. It sends me such a sensory overload. I just hate it so much. I have nowhere to escape other than just throwing my headphones across the room. I don't do well with noises, if you can't tell.
Dude, it's true. It's insane. That moment of silence when the game is loading and no, you can't hear anyone. I'm like, oh, I love this bliss I have with my world loading screen.
I would just get to the point where I would let everyone go to the place first. I'm like, okay, let me get
really quickly. I'm gonna let you in on a secret, okay? Whenever you need a round where you just need the silence, Dustin, I've always done one of two things. Either I inverse in, because half the time you inverse, you will only end up with maybe one other person.
Fair.
Or as soon as I enter, and I've genuinely done this, even if I enter it as a group, I just sprint deep into the facility, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going on my own solo adventure.
The ship is the real problem for me. Once we're
The
in the facility,
ship
I'm
is
fine.
the problem.
The ship is what I can't deal with.
Which is why, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but especially when we have, like, 8 or more players, I do my damnedest to be like, I am landing us. If you have an issue with it, you need to speak up right now because I know that you're never gonna check in with every single person, and you're not gonna be able to wait for people's conversations to end. That will never happen.
We're leaving.
Yeah,
Right. It's basically I'm being the teacher. I'm taking control. It's one of the reasons why I like being the host. And you got a problem with it, you can fuck off.
Robert, I'm gonna let you know right now. I totally give you the okay to not even give us the if you have a problem, speak up now. Literally, just pick a map. And I never care. I never care where we go.
The one reason why I would be like, I care, is if we're trying to get someone in the game.
Dude, when we're trying to get someone in, all of us are like, "Don't launch the ship."
I have literally no one is. I think we've only had one time where someone launched the ship without realizing someone was trying to join. I'm literally at the point where if someone's trying to join, I'm standing at the lever like guarding it. You know what, Matt? I'm gonna look into this right now. I wanted to see if there was a mod that permanently made it so only the host can activate the ship.
That would be perfect.
Because that way,
to land.
Yeah, just to land. Right?
Land.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Take off anyone can.
That would suck.
That would be horrible.
Well, Robert died.
Well, Rob's
That's
the only
for
one.
us, I guess.
Well, Rob's the only one with the passcode to launch the ship. So I guess we're gonna let's hope we survive until midnight.
We're waiting till midnight.
Yeah. No, but I also I remember there was one time I thought it was really funny. I was dead and I was flipping between I was scrolling between people spectating. And I think it was like I was flipping the channels on TV.
Yeah,
there was just like 5 different things going on. And and a couple people were like trying to deal with a Bracken. 2 people were just talking about like some other video game. Someone was just on their own talking to themselves. I was just rotating through, and I'm like, this is why I like having a game of like 12 people. Because this is really funny. Or you're just running into people constantly. In the facility. It's funny.
You can just change groups like 50 times.
I found one mod that allows you to configure different settings as a host. So like I could make it so that no one else can move things on the ship. Only I could route us to moons. Only I could buy things. I wouldn't put limits on any of that. But it also disabled the ability to land on moons by client. That's, I think, the big one.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I think...
That makes
it
easy.
think I might download that. And just tell people... my guess is that this is a host-only mod. And just tell people, be like, look, just so that people know, if I'm hosting, this is going to be on... I know when people are joining. I stay undeafened in the Discord. They join the Discord. I check in with them. I know. If you know someone who's joining who's not in the Discord, let me know. But otherwise, unless someone tells me specifically that they need to not land, I am landing us. And if you're not here, then you play when you get here.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
And as the and I've been thinking about this. Yeah. I find it weird, but I also really enjoy for a thing. Mm-hmm. As the one person who is at the middle of the Venn diagram for all of the people that play Lethal Company with us.
Who, you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unintentional, but just kind of, I guess, how it worked out. No one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be like, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think No, I knew in my mind. It was like, no one would care
They're too busy talking about fucking
Hey,
Magic Gathering.
Hey,
They don't
in
care.
general, the only people who have ever really like routed us really are me and Fanning.
Yeah.
Like,
And
And,
to be
ask-
and
fair,
Stanley would have
I-
input sometimes.
I'll ask for input, be like, "Where do you guys want to land?" And you'll be like, "Titan." I'm like, "All right, route Titan." I don't care. But like, yeah, no, I totally knew that. Like,
Yeah.
I knew you and Georgia and Dustin and like most people would not give a shit. Fanning might be like, "Oh, this is something," and as soon as I told him the reasoning, he'd be like, "Oh, makes sense. On board with that." And Fanning would probably download it so that when he's hosting it, he can do the same thing.
and if Fanning's the only one we're pissing off, who gives a shit?
I don't think Fanning would be pissed off over it.
You know what? It might be. You know what? He probably won't be, but it'll be funny if he is. So
I guess.
I love Fanning. Yeah, no one's gonna care. Honestly, I am. You know what? I don't care I don't care what map we go to.
I literally never just tell me what the weather is so I can deal with that. I never care otherwise.
I don't care what map. The one thing I have noticed is that I think that the mod that adds the 2 new interiors, right?
Yeah.
What I've noticed is I think
Is that
those
those interiors
interiors.
come up a lot.
Well, one, yeah. I wonder if there's maybe a setting we can change on that.
I was literally just about to look at
But I
that.
think those interiors might be too. I think the issue is that they're too big for the easier moons.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that when we play them on like Titan or like Dine or Rend, it seems like there's a good amount of stuff, right? Because those moons just have more stuff in them, more items. I feel like when we get like Dungeon on Assurance or like or the like sewers on Vow or something, I feel like there's like a drought of items.
Yeah, it's rough trying to find only
find
5
anything.
things on those massive maps.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think. But that's also the same mod for some reason that adds the Weezer guitar, so we're not getting rid of it.
Yeah, no, I think the plan was to get rid of it. I just want to see if I'm gonna look and see if I can just lower it.
Matt, I want to ask you now before if you end up forgetting.
Yeah.
So today when we played with the company, we did a ladder fight,
Yes.
which is basically these boxes where you place it down, it makes a ladder pop up and it falls.
and
We use
yeah,
and we use to kill each other a lot because if it lands on
very-
us, it kills them.
I'm very familiar. Yeah.
I say we, it's Matt. So we did a thing where it was all 8 of us, and we did a fight with like 30 ladders for some reason.
Yeah.
At one point, the final 4, me, you, George A, Tess, you and George A died. What happened? Because Tess and I stopped. I was like, wait, where's Matt and George A? I was like,
Oh,
I'm
where'd
not
they
I'm
go?
gonna, yeah, you guys died. Where'd you go?
I just had a ladder dropped on me.
Oh,
Oh, you did?
They both died to
Yeah.
ladders.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
were like aside next to the ship at one point. And then I was focusing on Tess, and I turned
Well,
around, you guys were gone.
I don't know if you realize this. George A grabbed a rocket launcher and then missed every single shot with it.
Oh, he didn't miss that. Oh, I almost died from that rocket launcher.
Well, you
He
didn't.
didn't manage to
He
kill anyone.
didn't
Yeah.
kill anyone.
He didn't kill anyone,
Which
yeah.
was really funny.
It was pretty fun. Okay, so you
Yeah.
guys just legitimately died. Okay.
Also, after that, I was look at Fanning. He made a whole point that I died, and he was like, "You lost,"
Oh, I didn't even hear that. Oh, it was
and
during
I'm like, bro, okay, no, my ladder game is more like Among Us. That was Call of Duty. All right, I don't play trying to get as many people as possible. I play mind games, and I get people when they don't expect it. That's what I do with the ladder. He made a whole deal about how I lost. And I'm like, bro, it's not the same game. It's not the same game. Find me someone else that got a double kill with a ladder. Especially on Fanning, who's so hyper concerned about ladders anytime we're on the company.
But Robert, to finally answer your question, it's kind of a boring answer comparatively, but I think I'd go with the emotes.
Emotes is huge.
Especially we keep finding new emotes that we just find absolutely hilarious. Because there's a lot. I think it's like is it close to 200 emotes?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like
The T posing around people to just spitting on your head.
They are good.
They're amazing. They're necessary. I think emotes are just essential in video games.
Yeah.
Like, I know it kind of is more of a Fortnite thing. I think Fortnite was like the one that started adding emotes like crazy. Like it was a huge thing.
Yeah,
And
they're
a
the
lot
ones
of
that really went
games,
nuts with it.
a lot of games have like gone from there. But just being able to emote in situations, like even when we only had, it's crazy to think at one point we only had default dance and point.
Yeah.
And we made use of them.
Yeah.
Like emotes are just like essential to video game for multiplayer games now.
Mhm.
I don't know what I would do without them. Early days of TF2, we had chat binds or any source game like CS:GO where you can bind buttons to put messages in chat. That's what we used to have back in the day. And it would just be like bits that you put into the console. But yeah.
All right. I was able to lower the odds of those two interiors happening.
Oh, that's actually huge.
You know, it's funny, Matt, and I
Yeah.
might do it as a meme at one point.
Max it out.
Well, not max that out, but I can change the odds of the guitar spawning.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly how it works, but it says that the minimum value I can give it is 0. The maximum value I can give it is 300. And just for reference, it's been at 10. So if I put it at 300,
Dude, you're gonna have to
literally
relaunch
nothing but Weezer guitars.
You're gonna have
We're
to do
just
it
like,
once and
what
then
the
relaunch
fuck's
the lobby
going on?
after.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I'd have to like relaunch the game.
You know what you should do?
It'd be a whole thing just for a bit.
I think the best way to run that bit is to fabricate a reason that we have to relaunch for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Like today, like how it was like, oh, my game's I'm stuck in the web and my game is really slow.
Okay.
Right? Let's say you come up with something like that.
Yeah.
Like you make that up and then you turn it on. No one will expect it.
Right. Yeah. I think the mod that I would go with for my favorite, it took a lot of convincing, I think, and we had to tweak the settings, Lethal Escape.
Yeah, loot bugs. Yeah, seeing a bracket outside is just really funny.
Just awkwardly standing there.
Yeah.
The loot bug is craziest because it's almost always after it was done chasing you inside.
Yeah.
Dude,
You get bad loot bugs,
outside is
you escape.
infinitely more dangerous than inside.
Yeah, you run outside and that same loot bug is suddenly pissed off but coming straight at you. Come on, why?
Yeah.
Seeing the Bracken, like people like just today, you guys were outside of Titan and you were like collecting, you're kind of collecting yourselves, looking through the loot that was left behind. And then from the angle that I was spectating Zach on, I see the Bracken just like awkwardly walk out a fire exit, walk up behind him, snap his neck, and carry him back inside.
Oh my god!
And you're like, and I'm not watching this. I'm watching the whole thing happen. I'm powerless. I'm undead. I'm just watching. I'm like, oh my god, he really just did that.
Yeah,
I think he comes back out and gets another one of you.
I think that Bracken ended up getting a few people because I think I got killed by him.
Bracken outside is really funny.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Matt?
Oh, my favorite mod.
Yeah.
Gosh, shit.
Putting you on the spot.
You know,
My
that's
favorite.
we do have a lot of we have like 40 mods, it's a lot, but at least to me, it doesn't really feel like a lot when we're actually playing. It all like blends together smoothly. I feel.
Well,
Yeah, there's not a lot of
I'm curious how many of those 40 are like helper mods.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's probably like a third of them. And then there's also
a little bit.
what was that?
I'm gonna pause the game for a little bit. I'm looking at the mod list.
That's fine. And then there's also a lot of them that just do like very small things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
like I
I
could
mean,
say
that's
like
why.
like I'm not gonna like mods that are like essential, right? Like
Like mods where
more company.
if
How
you
much
said
loot is on this ship?
uninstall this, you would
Yeah.
be looked at like a maniac.
Like how much loot is on like the one that does the whole ship.
Yeah, that's
Right.
vital.
That's not my favorite mod,
But
but
it's useful. It's very
I'm
important.
not getting rid of it.
Right. I would say those like I'll say one mod that we probably could get rid of if we needed to get rid of mods at this point is the Mimics one.
The fucking slot machine, bro.
Yeah.
What did you say, Robert?
I said the Mimics, but Matt might even have a better point with the slot machine.
Mimics is kind of meh. Because like it says mimics, but it's just one mimic. It's a possible fire exit.
We know
You know,
too much about it now.
And we know you could just hit a fire exit, and if it gives it a middle finger, it's like, okay, that's
we
And
know
we also know how many fire exits are on each moon. It's like
mhm.
I went into this fire exit, so obviously this one's fake.
Yeah. And
here's
if
the thing about mimics.
Yeah.
In order to keep mimics interesting, you
Uh-huh.
have to keep innovating.
Right.
First, it's a ship. First, it's a chest.
Okay.
Then it's like a dresser.
Okay.
Then it's like an entire island.
Okay.
And as long as you're terrorizing Dustin with them the whole time, it's so fun.
True.
When it's just the fire exit, it's like, okay.
Matt, when are we gonna tell Dustin that he's actually been doing this whole podcast with 2 Mimics?
We're two AI chatbots this whole time. Me and Rob just go play Danganronpa every now and again.
you guys already finished your line, April. That's what's been going on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say one that I like, not because I think it's game changing or incredible. I just really like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just makes me happy. Is the one that makes the Jester play Freebird.
Fair enough.
That is pretty funny.
I think it's just the funniest thing. I don't want to leave. When I start hearing the Jester start cranking and immediately starts playing.
Here's the one
weirdly
thing, Matt,
echoed
and
Freebird.
I'm curious your thoughts on this, okay?
Yeah.
If we found a mod that made it so that the song that the Jester played each time was random.
I would like that.
Like, I think that would make it more interesting.
I think it'd be funny. I think, especially if you could,
because then it's like, oh, why do I hear Smash Mouth's All Star?
Oh, God, if we could add songs to it too.
If you could add songs,
we can add our own songs.
I want to make it so that the Jester
Olivia.
I want to make it so that the Jester pops at the Buddy Holly riff. Like it plays the riff and then it goes crazy and starts killing people.
Dream song for the Jester, and when it pops out, what's going on?
Well, I just gave mine, so.
All right, this is mine. It's gonna be a bit of an odd choice, but I think it would be amazing for the game. Okay. There's a famous orchestral piece. It's called something like "In the Hall of the Mountain King."
The Hall of the Mountain Lion King.
It's the one that goes and it just slowly gets faster and faster, and then once the Jester pops up,
that would be perfect. Yeah,
like that would be, especially because since it starts off quiet, you wouldn't even necessarily, if you're not paying attention, you don't see the Jester, you might not even hear it at first, and then all of a sudden it's just getting a little louder. You're like, Am I hearing that right? Is there? Oh, there's a. Oh shit! Oh shit! Run! Like, I think that'd be so much fun. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah.
I think
Oh
that'd be great.
man. Yeah. I'll have to see. I'll have to look around a little bit and see what I can find. Because I'll probably play some more tomorrow. Oh boy. Anything else we want to talk about?
Dustin put Bazinga in the topic channel.
Yeah, Dustin, what the fuck?
Don't tell me that you're like, guys, I watched a couple episodes of Big Bang Theory.
No.
It might actually be funny.
No.
Thank God.
So Reddit recently, they made a deal with some AI company
Oh
for
boy.
lots and lots, like millions of dollars. Where basically this AI company is going to use info from Reddit to like help their AI. They're going to take information from like posts and comments to feed their AI to help it learn stuff. And Redditors were not a fan of that. They did not. They did not want to deal with AI. They don't want their stuff to be used to help AI.
Okay.
So a movement that's kind of been happening on Reddit now, especially in like the meme subreddits, is basically they just comment on every post Bazinga, and they'll make memes specifically about Sheldon Cooper and the word Bazinga.
Huh.
Oh, so that when they try to
So the AI is just gonna learn about Sheldon and the word Bazinga.
malicious compliance once again.